first things first. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. I was wondering, like, why in the world is everything moved over to one side over here? Like, literally should be here somewhere. All right, I got to thinking about what other applications we could use the technology for the FLE Invisible Infinity. Sorry, let me get this right. FLE Invisible Infinity 1 Black. What else can we use this for? Actually, there's a few things interesting we can use this for. Now, we definitely going to have to do some pretty interesting technology to the screen. Interactive software, because I do want to build a tabletop monitor for the desk. Used for projector mapping application and submerged up, which is really important if we're going to be submerging these things. You use them as a form of hologram or virtual tanks. Just fish tanks. This is going to be very important. But what else I'm thinking we could use the screen for? Now, they also have where you can actually coat a sheet of plexiglass with this technology, and you can stick your projector behind it. I'm looking at, they make a plexiglass that has little legs that can connect underneath of it, so it can sit on top of a table. Something like the sneeze guard they had in COVID, same kind of scenario. But there's another also too, where another way those screens can be used also too. So when you're dealing with projection screens near your pool, the problem you run with is the fact that this is a screen that's going to be outside in a lot of moisture, and I mean a lot of moisture. You're going to have water that's going to splash up from the pool. Your screen can't be too close to the pool because it runs the risk of being hit. Projectors are where you're going to mount these things at, because again, you don't want it in front. That's going to be a problem. You may have to mount the projector all the way across, or you can just go with an ultra short throw projector. You can do it that way. With the black technology, what's beautiful about that is the fact that we can make it rear, which means you can put your projector behind the back of the screen. Much like your ultra short throw, it's going to be in the back of your screen. When you do your setup inside, you can do the same thing outside. And this is also a lot more protection for your projector, because if something splashes up, at least it's not going to hit it because it's sitting in the front, it's sitting in the back, and you got that piece of plexiglass to protect it. So that's an actual interesting feature that we can also use it for, because they are weatherproof, and on top of that, they can be used outside. Another thing too is boats. Let me see, because boats would be a fantastic way to utilize this technology to put on your boat projection screens. And because of the sea salt and the moist weather and everything, a motorized projection screen would get wrecked in something like this. Corrosion, all kinds of stuff could pop up. Also, you would have a problem if you were to do any other screen. This would also have an issue. But if your screen was plexiglass, you can operate this thing on a boat, because plexiglass is not going to have an issue with the elements. You understand? You get the sea salt, frog out there. The air gets moist, it gets wet out there. Components can easily get damaged. That's why stuff that's made for a boat or marina equipment is a lot more different than what is made for your home use. That stuff is all weatherproof. It's designed because it's going to basically take on a lot of moisture. So someone was bringing it up to me about basically putting a curved screen on their boat and putting a projector behind the back of it, because again, you can curve the plexiglass, set your projector behind the back of it. But I want to look at projection screens for boats. Because this would have to be completely, and I mean, people have boats up on the top. I got a few people who have some big boats where they can put the screen up top where you can actually watch it. And keep in mind, you don't have to have a very large boat for this, to tell you the truth, honestly. Now, if you were doing it with ultra short throw, I would put the screen right here, and I would put the projector here. If you have a larger boat, you can literally put the screen behind it. But either way, your projection screen is not going to take any damage, because it's completely plexiglass. And that technology is designed basically to be submersible, if you want to use it that way. I don't know if anyone's going to submerge them in the water, but still, you're not going to have a problem if water hits this thing. Projector setups for boats. I'm going to have to go into here to get this right here. Now, most likely they're using an inflatable system. And an inflatable system, the problem you have with this, these things go airborne, and they can go airborne pretty quick. Yeah, I knew they had these setups in here for this. Man, we are going to venture out into the world of boats. So this right here is a setup screen for a boat. Look at that white projection screen, washed out, looking absolutely awful. We can make that thing look absolutely incredible. Because I told you, all the screens we're going to run across are going to be white screens. We're not going to run across any gray screens. It's very rare we'll run up into one of those. But the majority, most of the screens out there are white screens. We're going to have to go to a boat show. Now see, a boat like this, right here, or I would say more like this. They could set the screen up right here, have the ultra short though right there. If you got a much larger boat, of course, they're going to set the screen up in the front and put the projector right here. He has seating where you can sit in the front or you can sit in the back. But yeah, they can set the screen right there. Problem with having a screen, like I said, outside of your boat, it's going to definitely take on some moisture, mold. It's going to have mold issues, all kinds of problems. And what I've seen so far in the projection screens for boats, they're white screens. And those screens look absolutely awful. Projector screens on boats. It can be made from various materials, including marina grade material. Yeah, because it has to be. It has to be, because if not, that sea salt getting there, the moisture, wet, you destroy your screen. You have corrosion and everything else will pop up. Most likely, when you use inflatable screens, the problem you have with inflatable screens, and I've used inflatable screens a lot, they become airborne extremely fast. And on top of that, with an inflatable screen, your screen can literally bend in the middle. Because remember, there's no support there. It's air. It's only supporting the screen. So these things become airborne. You know, unless you're going to get the ones out, you're going to run constant power from the boat to the screen. That's one solution. Or if you buy the ones that are more expensive ones that basically come with a built-in compressor, much like an air mattress, those things are costly. They're a couple $1,000s to get one of those. This is where the technology called cinema flow comes in at. It's a perfect application for this. And we can use that technology to design that screen. Yeah, this is what we usually see. White screens. Man, that's going to be a cakewalk. To knock out one of those is easy. This is what cinema flow, the technology we're developing, is designed to replace that. And we can use that technology to make it. I told you that technology, the invisible technology, has so many applications. You know, that is going to be what we're going to use to engineer the cinema flow technology. And on top of that, a new curved plexiglass projection screen is going to be designed for boats. And now you don't have to worry about basically the sea salt and the moisture and the fog basically corroding and damage. That's why you don't see motorized projection screens on boats. You can't have that up there. And this is weatherproof or some kind of weatherproof screen, but at the end of the day, mind you, you're out there on a boat. There's constant wind pushing all the time when you're on a boat. So your screen's going to turn into a sail. And the problem with using ultra short throws have to lay on perfectly flat surfaces. If not, the screen gets ripple effects, it gets curved and it gets distorted. So you can't use an ultra short throw on a boat if your screen is a material kind of fabric, because it's going to have issues with it. That's why this technology we're engineering that allows to convert a piece of plexiglass into a high performance front and rear projection screen will be fantastic for that application. And an ultra short throw is needed because, again, unless you got a really, really big boat and you can basically drop that projector all the way back about 13 feet. You know how big a boat is to have 13 feet just for room, just for basically showing a projector, not for seating, not for cabin, not for the hull. I'm talking about just for basically a projector. That's a pretty big boat. So this will allow to make it easier where they can basically have an ultra short throw up front, hit the screen and get a perfect flat image every single time with our coding technology. Of course, we may have to incorporate ad tech into some of this stuff because, again, this will come in nicely. You can be out there and watch a movie at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but that'll be later on. Right now, we're going to start baby steps with this technology first, and then we'll incorporate ad tech into it. So that'll be our next stage. See, this is what I'm talking about. When people who are just basically, you're trapped inside the box, your brain only thinks about a small piece. You're here. This is what you think of. You think of, this is all of projection. This is the world of projection. All of this, right? And they only think of this little part way up there. That's it. That's all they think of. There's so many places that projection technology basically can be used. But if you're trapped inside the box, that's the only place you can go. But for people who basically think outside the box, you can go here, 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 and even outside the box in areas we're not supposed to be at, we can go there too. So that's why it's very important to, when you build, always think outside the box and develop technology that will allow you to be outside the box. You can't cut corners. Out there is no ambient light controlled environment. Now, see, I told you about big boat. If you got a boat that you have 13 feet extra just to show off a screen, you got a pretty big boat. And even that right there is going to have an issue because, again, what we have to be able to prove in our demonstrations when we're showing off our technology, we have to be able to prove that our screen paint basically can show the difference between a white screen and our technology, even in a super dark environment. How much of a better image you're going to receive. And that's not going to be a problem for the technology. But I know for a fact, if you're using ultra short throw, which it would be the projector to use if you're going to be on a boat, I would definitely go with an ultra short throw for that setup. Your screen's going to have to be perfectly flat to do it. And the only motorized projection screens that allow you to do that are called tension. And even they, at the end of the day, will start to move back and forth. Even if it's laying flat against the wall, because I've had that happen, lay a flat motorized projection screen against the wall, air still can push from the side, get underneath that frame and move it a little bit, and it distorts your image. It has to lay perfectly flat. And a new plexiglass screen we're going to be developing, that would work perfectly for that. Look at that. See? White screen. Easy. It's going to be easy. So I got a friend of mine who works at a boat arena, and he asked me a question about that submersible screen on the water. He's curious about basically using it on a yacht to show off the screen and how it can be utilized. And they want to basically have one on the show. On the floor, we're going to put on the floor. Yeah, if the inside of your hull is that big, inside of your boat is that big, you got a big boat. But other than that, you can use it on a small boat, a large boat. Look at that. Oh, what we can do with that. That is absolute. No. But you know, at the end of the day, that's what people think. All white screens. Majority of the screens that are on the market are white screens. Look how dark that has to be in order for that to work. Man, this is going to be a cakewalk. It is, because we develop technology for outside. pretty soon they all should join the dark side. Look at that. Washed out. Washed out. Ugh. Look at how dark the environment is for this presentation. It should be fully lit like we use in here. They have to. They don't have a choice because the screen will wash out. They have to be in a dark environment to get that thing to work. And it's still washed out, as you can see. It's supposed to be in a fully lit environment, but they can't do that because, again, our technology hasn't been introduced on that level. But since we're in an office anyway, once we incorporate this technology here, it'll go from one building to the next, to the next, to the next. It's gonna be like watching a wildfire take off. We got tons of office buildings down here. I'm in an office building. I show them that technology right there, firing up in this fully lit environment. Every office building down here in Allentown is going to want that technology embedded into their screens. As I said, baby steps. Finish getting our foundation laid because we're working on that right now. Once that's done, then we start doing the footwork. We start going into buildings. I already got some heavy connections in my corner to help me get in areas I can't get into. This technology plastered all over Allentown. I have a lot of interesting friends over at City Hall. So, as soon as we're ready, because that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for when I'm ready to get ready to show them some samples and some demonstrations. That's all they're waiting for. But before we can do that, we have to lay the foundation. I have to get my business cards done and all that stuff. Told you. When you got it, like I told you from the door, you got to spend money on your cards. You got to. Business cards, basically, they say a lot about your business. They said you're serious or you're not serious. And everyone we gave these cards to, they just stare at them. They just stare at these cards. And most people don't see invisible cards, especially when they're made out of a nice credit card, like a thin texture to them. And all they do is they just stare at them. That means your company means business at the end of the day. If someone takes the time to look at your card, they take their phone, look at it, and just put it in their pocket, that's not a good sign. Look at your card and they just, wow, that's crazy, man. This is pretty interesting. There you go. They're going to show that card off to all their friends. They're going to show it off to everybody. They're going to advertise for your company. That's why I spent the money for those cards. And they're going to take that card and they're not going to stick it in their wallet. You know what they're going to do? They're going to stick it up on their refrigerator. They're going to stick it in their office so people can see it. Like, look at this card, man. This is crazy, man. This guy came in, invisible card. Never seen one of these before. People come back and compliment you on your card. Tell them, wow, that's a crazy card, man. Invisible? I never seen anything like that. Yep. Now, the new one I'm doing another one. I'm going to do an upgrade on this one. The new one's going to have a chip in it. It's going to have a little chip in it that you can go and you can take your phone and doop, and the information will pop up and everything. It'll give off a little commercial and everything. That's my new one I'm designing next. They're a little bit more. They're roughly around somewhere, I'd say about $25 a card. So they're a little bit more. But I'm going to pay the money for it because you know why? Like I said, that's best word of mouth. Best word of mouth is basically, word of mouth is best advertisement. Because this is all I'm dealing with. In Allentown, this is all I've seen. I did my research. I went out and ate at a couple of places, went to little high-end places here and there, looked here, looked there, and sat down like an everyday Joe, and I just watched the environment and checked everything out, like what kind of screens are running, different types of projectors, asked questions and stuff, and nobody knew who I was. They didn't need to know. I'm just doing research. Land me a nice office, get in there and get set up, get established, get me a nice storage unit to start loading my projectors and machines I need in, because again, we need a lot of stuff to work with. We need to really go back and forth to our warehouse unit. And then have another storage unit. And then we have another warehouse unit that I've already went down and rent on that allows me to go in and work on the more heavier stuff. I can do some stuff here, but not the heavy stuff, working with power tools and all that stuff. Can't do that here. We can do it at the other place, the warehouse we got. So it allows me to be able to network. If I got to build something I want to bring on site, I can just go to the warehouse, put it all together, assemble it, and then I can go over to my storage unit, pick up one of my projectors, and then I can pop over and do the rest of my office work and meet with my clients. Yep. A lot of work. But yeah, that's interesting that technology can be used for other things. Matter of fact, we can even give it the ability to bleed, which means this is fantastic for inflatable projection screens. Inflatable projection screens, they're temperamental. These screens will basically crack and peel on you. You don't want anything like that to happen because you're constantly taking the screen down, putting it back up, taking it down, putting it up. It's going to take a lot of stress on that screen. Another issue you have is these screens are now, majority they're making now are basically front and rear. And the problem when you do a front and rear screen that has that kind of material, it's not even a mesh, it's something weird that they use, is when you spray it, you're not going to be, you can't roll this in. You roll this in, you will damage the screen because again, it's designed to breathe. It's designed for light to pass through it. That's another issue you're going to have. And on top of that, you'll get all kinds of road marks and streaks in it. You'll have to spray these things in there, which is very important. But it has to have a bleed through process because if you don't have a bleed through process, you're going to use so much painting that screen. You're going to paint one side, then you got to go back around to the other side and paint that side too, which means you're going to use a lot more paint and it's going to take too much time to do. But if you have it where when you spray it and it bleeds through it, it covers much faster. And then we did develop some screens. We had some screens called, I think they were called the Eclipse. The Eclipse, these portable screens we made, it had a bleed through process in the formula we made. So this allows us to convert these things into high performance black screens, which I think that's one of the upgrades we're going to add to this technology. We're going to give it the ability to be able to convert your inflatable screens into black technology. And I do want to use it for boats and yachts and stuff like that because I have not dabbled in that section yet, but looking at the screens they have in their setups are all white projection screens. And oh man, you know what white projection screens look like. So this is going to be interesting. We have experience in this field, so we're good. Look at that. That is absolutely awful. Oh man. Dark environment. Well, yeah, look at this. See right here? This is interesting. And this one. And they're doing their seminar. If you notice, get out of the way. I hate that thing. We don't need news now. Get out of the way. Let me see. Now, if you notice in here, there's a light there. There's a light there. How come these lights turn on? They can't have them on. You know why? Screen will disappear. And they're using a short throw projector. They're sitting right up on top of the screen, and they still can't read it. You can see where the area is dark because you can see all the lights flashing here and here. But these two lights are not even on. Can't have those on. You have them over here where they're at so they can pretty much read whatever they're giving them, some kind of memo or whatever, reading spreadsheet or whatever. They can read it from here. But up here, he's going to be in the dark. Yeah, and the image looks like crap. I can see it from here. Our technology, man, you can have all those lights on. You can light that up. See right here? Now, they got the lights on in this environment right here, right? But look how poorly this screen is pulling up. If you're sitting in the front row, you can probably make it out. But if you're anywhere between the second, third, and so forth, yeah, good luck. Go get a magnifying glass because that's pretty much where you're going to be at. The business world is big money. It's extremely big money. And if you have figured out a way how to get a screen to fire up in the office and presentation room and all that, yeah, you've got some serious moolah coming your way. And you got companies, again, that want to tag on board because they want to invest, because they want to be a part of that. Now, keep in mind that also, too, technology that we're developing, it works for golf simulators. Yeah, it can actually work for a golf simulator. So coding, we developed, like I said, has multiple applications, and one of them is a golf simulator that it can work on. So instead of you going out and buying a white, because golf simulator is going to be white. And the problem when you have a white golf simulator is that your colors and all that wash out. So when they set them up, they have to be in a very dark area while you're in a light area because you have to be able to see where you're hitting the ball at, right? Well, golf simulator. See how it's dark in these corners where the screen's at? Because they don't have a choice. These screens are white. It can be well lit here, but it can't be well lit here. Now imagine you setting up a golf simulator and you have a light system there to make it look like you're playing in the daytime, and your screen doesn't even wash out. So the Infinity, Invisible Infinity, Infinity One Black, what they call it, has multiple applications attached to it. I didn't mention that when we were talking about it. I thought I'd mention it later. Kind of say some stuff later on. Yeah, it can do golf simulators, all that stuff, everything. Now look at this. That's the title for Futurama. Do you see how washed out that is? The sad thing about projection screens today, that people think if they can still see the image, it ain't got to be great, because they accept the fact that the screen's going to wash out because it's a projection screen. So they're used to that scenario. But it ain't got to be great. It just has to be to just show. So you can just see something of it. That is absolutely horrible. Yeah. And there's no lights around it. If you notice, the lights are over here, but this is all dark over here, and it's still washed out. Now imagine if I try to load that up in here. What would happen? You gotta be in that environment. In this presentation here, that's a sign. That's the screen right there. Washed out. His suit is actually blacker than what's being showed on the screen. So, when I get time, because I haven't advertised any of this out there yet, when I get time, I'll be walking into those office environments with our screens, pulling them out. We got an 80-inch, we got a 100-inch, and we got a 50-inch. And I'll be functioning in all those environments with no problem whatsoever with our $10 projector. With all the lights on. And they're not used to it. They're not used to seeing that. You get one building, they all come with it. Every single one of them. And every person that's in business, whether it be a multi-million-dollar corporation or business, wherever they are, is going to see that technology, and they're going to wonder where it came from. They're going to come back to us. Yep. That's what I saw when I came here. I said, man, we can network like crazy through this place. So yes, we're going to incorporate this technology for boats. We're going to incorporate this technology for office buildings, golf simulators, everything. That is our new rear projection technology under FLE. It also has submersible capabilities. Also, too, with the technology we're developing pretty soon for the desk, this whole entire desk right here is going to be one big screen. None of this is going to be up here. So we're going to drop a piece of plexiglass on here, coated with that technology. I got a system coming in that allow me to manipulate, drag, drop, pull out a pen, write whatever I want to be my ultimate office screen, and I can run the entire thing off a 500 lumen projector. Now that's overkill for us because we're used to 50, but I'm going to use a 500 lumen Dell. Little portable projector fits in my hand. That's what that box is for over there. That's what that box does. So yeah, gonna have involved with this. Look at that ultra short throw projector, and look how dark the environment is. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? Oh, poor projector. He's supposed to be doing better. Well, I swear, if they ever give machines the ability to be able to talk, your projector is going to curse you to freak out. Like, what in the world are you doing? Why do I look like that? What is going on with my contrast? That's my color? This is what my color is looking like? Oh my goodness. Oh, don't you dare put that calibration disc in me. I can imagine hearing the projector having a conversation with some of these people. Again in the dark. We're in the dark again. What are we, bats at the end of the day? Why are we in the dark? I'm 3,000 lumens. I can sit a foot from the screen and push up. The projector knows what it can do. It knows what it can do. The problem is the screen won't allow it to do it because the screen doesn't work properly. I can see the argument between the projector and the screen. Oh, you're gonna mate me up with a white projection screen? Are you freaking kidding me? That's not gonna work. My contrast's not gonna work. My color. And don't even try turning the lights. It's a complete nightmare. I can imagine if machines had the ability to talk You guys would be getting cursed out every single day. Me, on the other hand, it'd be nothing but thank you so much. This is what I look like. I look absolutely beautiful. I think my projectors would be Venus. I don't know what they would be. Oh my goodness, look at my colors. They look absolutely gorgeous. And my contrast level? Let me check my specifications for a minute. I only have 1,000 to 1 contrast, and my contrast is that dark. Oh, and the lights are on. Unbelievable. We can go outside. Yeah, that'll be my projectors talking. Yep, my goodness. They be in there screaming at you about their specifications. I have 2,000,000 to 1 contrast. You got me sitting in the dark. What is wrong with you? Unplug me now. Yeah, you'll get the Samuel Jackson talking projector, because that's the one to be one cursing you out at the end of the day. Telling me, what the freak? Really? We're in the dark. Do you know how powerful I am? I got 2,000,000 to 1 contrast. What the freak is that? That doesn't look like too many. That doesn't look like too many contrast. I would love to be to see that. I would love to see that. Can you imagine that the AI had Samuel Jackson's voice in it and it was arguing with you because your colors were off and all that other nonsense? You couldn't even pick up contrast correctly. Oh man, that'd be hilarious to watch. Ask Bob over there. His projector is cursing him out. Yep, he took a 4K projector and stuck it up on a white screen. Boy, he is triggered in there. Unplug me. I said, shut him down. Your system will shut down on you. Yeah. If your projector could talk, it'd be cursing some of y'all out to the roof. What are you doing? What are you? No. You can't put me on that. I'm not even going to work right. You can't stick me. Who gave you this dumb idea to begin with? Oh, you went there at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm shutting off. There's no way I want to take this humiliation at the end of the day. Yeah, these machines are really, really powerful. Even this old model, extremely powerful. But if I stuck this on a gray and white screen, that thing would look absolutely horrible. All right, let me see. I think the biggest denial I see is people make gray screen paints. You guys live in the biggest denial I've ever seen in my entire life. Even I myself have realized that my gray screens weren't producing 100% contrast or even close to a real serious gray level in order to be considered that to be acceptable once I basically came head to head with the black diamond technology. But you guys, on the other hand, really do believe that your gray screens see 100% contrast. I'll have to take y'all to court for this. I'm literally going to have to. Anybody who sits there and makes a statement, you lie on camera and you make a statement that your screen's reading 100% contrast, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to challenge you. Because you need to be in front of a judge or somebody at the end of the day going to tell you, no, you show me where your screen's reading 100% contrast. I'm not talking about being in the dark. No. In a fully lit environment like we're in here, fully lit environment, show me where your screen can read a 100% contrast level. Because when it comes to darker screens don't go off and say we read 100% white level, because we know that's not true. We know at the end of the day that the white levels are going to drop. We just have to make sure the white levels don't drop so dark that you can't even see the screen. That's why we do black versus black demonstrations. But gray screens, on the other hand, y'all on a different category. Y'all sit there and believe that you can read 100% contrast. You guys will be sitting up there in the dark with these high-end projectors with high contrast capabilities and saying, look, it's a contrast level. It's reading. No, you're not reading that. You're reading gray. You pick up gray. You do not pick up black. Oh my goodness. And like literally have to have these conversations in these forum sites. I go to these forum sites with all these different gray screen paints and I literally have this conversation with them in there. So let me get this straight. So if I don't have a 2,000,000 to 1, 4,000,000 to 1, 5,000,000 to 1 projector, I can't pick up the black level. Is that what you're saying? So what about the Joe at the end of the day that can't afford that projector? What is he picking up on your screen paint? It comes down to the projector. On us, it doesn't come down to the projector. The screen produces it automatically. It doesn't make a difference on the projector. So you can go out and buy a projector, cost you $10, and you can read a contrast level higher than a P2. So let me see. Gray screen paints, gray screens. Put down gray screens. 100%. 100%. They were like, no, you're wrong. We can see 100% contrast. And what multi-universe are we talking about on that one? Seriously. That's not even possible. That's like saying a black screen can read a 100% white level. Jeez, at least we know at the end of the day exactly where we lay at, but some people would just be doing too much. Let me see. Gray screen, 100% contrast. Let's see, fully lit room, fully lit. Lit room should make it outside. They should really do it outside. Fully lit. Let's go fully lit. Fully lit room. See if anyone got one. I want to see no ashy grays. Till we get here. That's us. First one to pop up is us. We challenged you guys, all of you. We challenged all gray screens from the door to show me this at the end of the day, because I get so sick and tired of people coming on YouTube and lying and saying, hey, we read 100% contrast. That's a challenge right there. Right there. And it hasn't been done yet. You know when we did that challenge? 1 year ago. It was 1 year we put that challenge up. Because I got sick and tired of people going, gray screen sees 100% contrast. Fully lit environment. Not the environment you guys sit in where it's dark, ambient light control, can't see corners, can't even make out statues because they're super dark. I'm talking about fully lit environment. And then we get the flack and complaining about, but that's not a normal environment. What's your environment at the end of the day? Because either you're Batman, you're a vampire, or something else is going wrong with you. But why are you in an environment that dark? Because at least at the end of the day, I can throw a pen in the middle of my floor and still see it. You guys can't see it. You can't see your hand in front of your face. I was in an environment trying to work a remote control. I was like, how do people do this mess? Because I can't even see the remote control at what point. Fully lit environment. Fully lit environment with a gray screen. Ultra short though projector. Are we gonna get this in a fully lit environment? This is the part that kills me. Why is it when y'all show me gray screens that you show nothing on the screen, you just show the gray screen in a fully lit? Okay. We're gonna get some contrast here on this. No, we're not. All right, move on. I can never understand why they do that. Why do they sit there and they show a screen? Oh, that screen's washed out. And I'll tell you why. Look at her pants. The pants are black. Look at the pants. Look at the bear. Look at the bear. Look at the pants. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. This is all gray. That's supposed to be black. Actually, look at her hair. Her hair is black too. Her hair is the same color as her pants. You see black pushing out? There you go. That's us at the end of the day. Bump, bump, bump. That's me again. That's us. That's us. Fully lit environment. Bump, 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 bump. That's us again. Bump, bump, bump. That's me. That's me. Let me see. Bump, bump, bump. Sitting in the dark. There's another challenge we put out again. That was 4 weeks ago. Asking people to do the demonstration. As a matter of fact, we actually called somebody out on that one who made comments that his product pulled and fully lit environments at 100% contrast level. Ooh, man. That's us underwater. Oh, I'm going to build one of these too. I'm going to put one that's right over there. I'm going to build a screen just like that. A virtual window. Oh, yeah. Guess what that is? That's 1100 lumen challenge. Right there. 1100 lumen challenge right there. We put it out there. Anybody match it yet? That's 5 years ago. Nope. Another challenge we gave y'all. Was that done? No, that was a year ago. Y'all still didn't do that one yet. Yep, that's us again. Bum, 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 bum. That's me back in the day, 10 years ago. Bum, 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 bum. That'd be me right there. Knock off projectors. Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. So, no, All the screens we're seeing right now, I bet you this one doesn't even have the projector on. I bet you're just showing the screen. One demonstration, just one. All I'm asking for, one demonstration. A gray screen, just like this. Fully lit environment. And I can see it's nighttime. This is a brick wall. Okay, cool. Fully lit environment, show me a contrast level. Nice built, by the way. Daylight, high ambient light, no, you're nowhere near an ambient light, high environment, nope. Stick you in a commercial environment, you'll see highlighting in there. That's not highlighting. It's the walls are too dark. See right here, they're way too dark. Like I said, nice screen, nice built. I like it and all, but the environment's too dark. You can't say it's ambient light. It's not. We got this thing in a fully lit environment somewhere. Oh no. We are in the dark. Really? This is what we're doing today? And you wonder why I have no there you go. In the dark. Anyway, let's get back to our technology. I get that crying, whining, complaining from gray screen paint makers. They sit there and tell us that we work in fully lit environments. Well, you guys got it posted, y'all not ambient light projection technology. How does that even work? If you don't run on ambient light projection technology, how are you basically being able to produce your colors and contrasts in a fully lit environment and you can't read black levels? How are you reading black levels? 100% black levels off a gray screen. This is why I think either y'all delusional, high, or drunk. One or the other. If something ain't right there, you're not picking that up. I'm sorry. If you sit in the darkness there, I see a contrast level. You can't even read a contrast level in the dark. I can literally come into your environment and take your screen out in the dark. And dark is not going to save you. It won't even save you against some of those high-end screens. It won't even save you if they go in there. You get a black diamond, they go in there in the dark with your screen. Oh, man, your screen is gone. Forget it. We go in there, we read 100% contrast. We can knock a certified out in a dark environment. I can go in there with a cell phone flashlight and I can wash out your screen. It's not going to work. If your screen is generating a 100% contrast level, you should be able to read in a fully lit environment. The problem you have here is the fact that with the gray screen, they make this claim. Not saying all of them, but majority of some of them make this claim that they read a 100% black level. Black screens, on the other hand, or gunmetals, don't make the claim that they read a 100% white level because they know this is impossible because there's a sacrifice field that when the screen becomes darker, it does happen when some of the white levels are going to drop, and that's what's going to happen. So they know they can't do this, but they know they have to be able to produce a high enough white level in order to read their color balance correctly. And again, that contrast, the closer you get to that infinity line, the more your white levels start to drop, but you're going to have to be able to maintain that at the same time. This is an interesting balance that you have to go through. And then you're going to do this in a fully lit environment because you have to show that fully lit environments are not going to plug your screen. You'll be doing it inside, outside, and multiple projectors because each projector is going to have a different reaction on how it's going to affect the screen, including the environment also too along with it. And you will do this against certified screens, high-grade screens that are basically mostly more superior than your product. You have to show that you can show a massive difference between night and day before someone's going to call for that money that can spend $20,000 for a screen. You have to be able to change their mind. Now it's got complicated, right? Yeah, there you go. That's where the madness comes in at. So you have to be to do this. So the thing about it is with the gray screen is still trying to grasp that they pull the darkest contrast levels. It can be equal to a certified. It can't be equal to a certified screen because the certified screen gains are extremely high. They have the 0.9 and 0.8 gain. And if you look at basic screen paint at gray, it's 2.0. Some people try to claim 3.0, but it's 2.0. That's what you pick up in your gain count. That's it. And that's not enough for ambient light rejection technology, so you know that. That's why you see the whole curtains and closed and controlled environment. Ambient light controlled environment just means at the end of the day that your screen can't function in a fully lit environment because it's going to suffer color and contrast is going to fade. That's what control is. You have to go in and control your lights, dim everything, make sure your lights aren't too close to the screen, put shades on everything. You have to literally equalize your environment in order to get the screen to work. which means you can't work in an office setting, because in an office setting, you're not going through all that. It's lights on or off, one or the other. That's what it is. And you're definitely not going to be outside with it. I would love to see the light switch for outside. That'd be interesting to look at. Now, if you notice, when they show these demonstrations, right, near a window, all this will be in the dark. We'll keep it in the dark. See right here? All this has to be in the dark. This is not impressive because you're in the dark. This is how people get their screens to try to look better. And they'll talk all this like, look at the color. And no, you still are failing. You should be able to do that with the lights on. This is one thing I see in screens that claim to be black or black screens. They'll do their demonstrations in white levels in a dark environment where the projector screen's not going to have to deal with so much light. No, that's supposed to be done in a fully lit environment. Now, you see this right here? Now, the minute they switch over to light environments with a lot of light, these colors are now no longer going to be displayed on the screen because they will wash out faster. They're going to stick to more like natural tone colors, like pastel colors, colors that are going to show less fade, like tans and pastel blues and stuff like that. Those are particular shades that are going to show less wear and tear to it when the light hits it. Told you. Every single time. Every demonstration I've ever watched, the exact same thing. Rare they would show a color level, because the color level would wash out dramatically. They'll keep it to light colors, beige colors, tannish colors, grays. Because of why? Because they show less wear and tear. They show less fadish. That's why. Or fading to the screen. And it's not a lot of light in here. Now this right here, see that I told you. Just going to show you the demonstration when they showed the city skyline. It was all in beige. That's why. And that curtain right there is supposed to be way over here. Honestly, it's not supposed to be there. If you had so much light coming in, it wouldn't be dark in this corner. Look at the colors. Oh, that's washed out. Beige colors. Now, lights go out, darker colors come out. Ha ha ha. Told y'all. See, I could run a class on basically how to teach customers how to watch out for basically projection screen gimmicks. I can teach y'all how to do that in a hot second. We see that a mile away. Every time I watch a demonstration. Now, every once in a while, they do try some colors in there, but it doesn't go well. They wash out pretty bad. But yeah, I told you. The minute they show the more deeper, more richer colors, this means that they'll have the lights out. When they show colors, basically, with the lights on, there'll be colors that are going to show really less the fading. They're not going to show deep blues and reds and oranges. You're not going to see any of that, or deep greens and stuff, because the screen will wash out faster. It'll give off that tannish look to the screen. You can blend a tannish, washed out, faded look better into a screen that has blander colors. Oh yeah, I know all that stuff, man. I've been doing this stuff for years. Didn't we do this guy outside? Yeah, we did do this guy outside. Same dude. We did him outside. Somebody actually came in and told us what kind of lizard this was. I forgot what it was, but he told us exactly what it was. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, because I had no idea what lizard it was. Yeah, she has one for a pet. Now you see that? So how come we couldn't get this picture back there when we had all the light coming through? That's why, because this would have washed out so much faster. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to do that, and you shouldn't have to turn your lights off here and there. The screen's washed out. They only show those bland colors, like I said, when they can't get the screen to pull. And it shows less of a fade out. Oh, this is this guy, Phantom HD. This guy, at the end of the day, man. Yeah, you regret the day you basically bumped into me, right? Told you about a projector was trash. I told you that from the door. Tried to tell me the projector was trash. I don't know what I'm talking about. The NEC projector I have over there is basically garbage. I'm not a professional at the end of the day. Who got trash today? You got trash, right? I told you. I know your machine. As a matter of fact, I got it right from the horse's mouth. Went out and spent money for this projector. Went out and paid the money for this screen. And we went there. I was gonna buy the screen, but then when I saw his demonstration, I was like, oh man, you just saved me a lot of money because the gray screen, the gray wall, and the white projector from eBay basically looked exactly the same as an $800 screen. You couldn't tell one from the other. I loaded it up in the forum site. They was in there cracking their heads up like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, thank you so much. You did me a big favor on that one. And then coming in and ranting on your channel talking about how I don't know anything about that projector that you have that is actually 4K. No, buddy. You don't do your homework. So I got it straight from the horse's mouth. I went over and talked to Valva, and I got them to admit, screenshot and everything, that their projector is a 1080p base projector with a 3000:1 contrast, and it's not even the 6000 lumens that it claimed to be. It's actually much lower than that because Epson sued them in court. So you ended up paying $3,700 for a projector, where that machine over there is 3600 lumens, much brighter than yours. Also, that projector has a 4000:1 contrast, which isn't great, but it's not better than 3000. And on top of that, I'm able to produce 150 inch off that baby in a fully lit environment where he couldn't even do that off his screen, and all the money he paid for that machine. Yeah. So yeah, when I was able to present that whole information about Valve and how they got sued by Epson and how basically they weren't what they're supposed to be, and to get them to admit there was a 1080p base projector at 3001 contrast, yeah, all that whole entire opinion, all that huff and puff died out really quick, didn't it? There you go. You learned a valuable lesson. You want to keep people to keep challenging me at the end of the day. I mean, hey, I ain't got no problem with crushing you real fast and going about my business. So, learned a valuable lesson. And yeah, so well, we need to talk more. We need to talk more about Jack. Block you off my channel. That's it. I gave you the opportunity and you ran your mouth, so I came and had to crush you real quick. I literally got that information directly from the company itself, because I know how to answer questions. I'm not a yes man like you. You're going, oh yeah, thank you right there. Give me a projector. Yeah, it ain't got to be 4K. It can be, you can compress it. Don't even care at the end of the day. Oh yeah, I know the difference between 6,000 lumens and 1,800. No, you don't know the difference between 6,000 and 1,800 lumens. And it's got a massive contrast level. Wow, 3,000:1. That's insane. Really? 3,000:1 contrast. It's not massive. 3001 contrast level is on projectors of 2011 and 2012 models. 2010 models had 3001. That's when it was a hype to have 3001. Now 3001 ain't jack. 4001 is not even jack. Heck, you can get a 600 by 800 SVGA ViewSonic projector that pretty much has 22,000:1 contrast, and it's way cheaper than spending for that projector at the end of the day. And that projector has a 235.1 anamorphic lens on it. Whew. Let's keep going. No. And this would be us, our customer, in a fully lit environment. That's my customer. When I talk about fully lit environment, this is what I'm talking about. Fully lit environment, plenty of light pushing in. All right, well, that concludes my theory right there. I like to say things so I can back them up. So that's why I did this short little road trip really quick, just to share at the end of the day that if I'm saying something on camera, and I tell you at the end of the day that a gray screen's not going to, I don't even know why I'm repeating this. I really don't know why. Why I'm sitting there trying to tell people that gray screens don't see contrast. You'll figure it out. You'll get it, and you'll turn on your lights and go, oh. What the heck? I thought he said this sees contrast. Mind you, any customers, let me explain something to you. Any company or gray screen out there that claims that you're going to read 100% contrast with the lights on, take them to court and sue them. It's called consumer fraud. You can't do that. That's what you do. Any of them. If they sit there and tell you that screen's going to read 100% contrast, let me tell you my screen's going to read 100% white level. I can't tell you that. I literally have it scripted on my website. Every single shopping cart says that the white levels are going to drop a little due to the fact that the screen is black. And this is why we have all these demonstrations called white level tests done on 1,000 lumen projectors outside and inside to show you where our screens lay at. Now, if you don't see any of those tests, if they sat there and said at the end of the day, you're going to read this incredible contrast level and look like that, then you need to take them to court. Take them to small claims court. You don't need a lawyer and sue them for $12,000. That's what you do. Then make that false statement. That's why we do all this testing. So basically, we can't go out and say stuff at the end of the day without having it backed up. Screens are submersible. I had to show the screens are submersible. Screens can read through projector mapping applications. We have to show all that. Screens can read through sunlight. Have to show that too. Just can't make stuff up as you go along. What was that? Yep. Going back to my over here. So I am going to add something for my specifications on the technology. And what do we have here? We have here for the technology, we already put down for our specification sheet, projector interactive technology. That's the last thing we need to do. We got that equipment over there. That's pretty easy to run. That's not hard to do. Underwater submersible technology, we already did that test already. They run. The only difference is basically I'm going to put 3 coats instead of the final coat. Going from the multi-layer application, we're going to do it from 1 to 3 because the 4 does work outside of the tank, but we need to work outside the tank and inside the tank. So I think 3 would be the perfect. As for rear projection, yeah, we definitely nailed that one already. As for projector lumen capability, starting at 50 lumens, we're using the 50 lumen projector right now to do all the demonstrations on. And even the projector mapping was done in 50 lumens. Let's see, multi-layer code application. That's what we're doing right now. We're figuring exactly what is the sweet spot. So we know the sweet spot's going to be between 1 and 3 for how light and how dark you want the surface. And then basically showing you what projectors you use if you're using a lighter one, which is ultra short though, and projectors with lens shift capabilities. And then over here we have darker layers, which require no special projectors because you can stick anything in the front. It'll basically kill that lamp glare. And surface information, transparent surfaces only. But we are also going to add in with this micro mesh. Micro mesh would be perfect for this application. So let me see. I'm going to put in mesh and micro mesh. Micro mesh. Micro mesh. So I'm going to put down material surface for this right here. So these are used basically for golf simulator, baseball simulators, and all that good stuff. Let's see, how dare you tap that twice? Let me see. Mesh. Mesh. All right, so that is a transparent surface. It's only, I want to put down mesh and micro mesh. Micro mesh and mesh are 2 different things. This is also too going to be fantastic for a screen we're working on called Cinema Flow. It's going to be worked on different forms of applications, and I told you before how I want to basically have our own inflatable projection screens. This would be perfect for our inflatable projection screen designs too. Also too, all new blackout cloth will be coated with this technology also too. Let me see something for a minute about that. Now I really think about it. Do we live in a screen paint form? I don't know now. Oh, we have to make it physical. No. If we're going to develop art, then we have to. No. I made a mistake there. We can't put this on our inflatable screens. Our inflatable screens have to have a whole different coating. Because we can't have the same coating out on the market that people know how to make and then sell the screen. That's not going to work too well. So we're going to have to engineer our own coating. Not a problem. That's easy to do. We'll design a separate coating for our inflatable screens. But micro mesh, yeah. Because you're going to need the code marker. Micro mesh. Micro mesh is also used for golf simulators. We're going to use for enhancement. Let's see. Transparent surfaces only. I'm going to put down enhancement capabilities. Let's put down, let's see. Yeah, refresh one here. Surface enhancement capabilities. surface enhancement capabilities. That's what we need there. Can you feel the love tonight? I'm gonna tell you something. Look, when you work on a whole lot of technology all day long, yeah, every so once in a while, man, you break out in song. It's a lot of work for people. You understand? It's a lot of work. Okay, let me see. And yes, weird about it, too, people understand like how I remember all those different formulas in my head. I remember every single formula that's actually in my head. The brain's a fascinating thing, man, at the end of the day. You know what stuff you can store in here? Yep. Yes, sirree. All that information, boom, in my head. God is good. That's where I got all that knowledge from. I got it from God. I love how people think at the end of the day, oh, you didn't get it from God, you did it yourself. Oh, yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure on that one. Uh-huh. Guess what else, too? When I pass off this earth, I plan to bring myself back to life and walk on the earth. Yeah, right. Yeah, everything comes from God. All technology, everything comes from God. Man came from God, and everything that man came from God, and everything that man makes come from God. That's what it is. You don't make anything yourself. Now, if you're doing evil things on the earth, that comes from the devil. Because God doesn't make evil things. The devil makes evil things. Micro mesh, mesh and micro mesh. Let's put down over here golf and baseball simulators. You know, I had that golf course, man. I could have used that to my... See, that's what's at the end of the day. Well, COVID hit around that time, too. But, yeah, that golf course there, man, I could have had a simulator design or something and had them test it out for me, which I'm trying to figure out if we have any golf courses around here I can track down to put its technology to use. And get a couple of people to hitting a couple of them into the net. So we need somebody to do some golf. So if you do golf and you're sincere, you contact me. And you may get a free screen just for testing out our technology. Let me see. We're going to go from here. See, let's put that golf simulator in there. Golf and baseball simulator. Oh, tennis too. On top of that. Well, no. Tennis, the ball got to come back to you. It'd be more like golf. Well, I have to say more. Now I got to research that too, because I really want to understand how that really works. When you hit that with the golf ball, where does it go? Like, it can't go anywhere. It can't go on the screen. So how does that react? Oh, is it using that sensor technology? It's probably using that sensor interactive technology. We have that here. Just waiting for the projector and cord to get here. I tell you, when I say everything happens for a reason, it's because the cord came first and it went missing. So they set it outside and somebody walked off with it. Post office, I swear. Anyway, and I'm thinking to myself, like, well, of course, like $21. That's all. And basically, the guy has plenty of what you contact, and he's going to send me another one. I said, no, I'll just pay for it because again, it's not your fault. You know what I mean? Businessman to businessman. It just walked off. But anyway, if I had got that cord first and then got this later, I technically didn't read through the instructions on this thing because, you know, I kind of like the wing stuff at the end of the day. But apparently, if I would have plugged this thing in, there are two lasers on both sides of this unit. And if one of them would have struck me, I would have lost my vision. Yeah, lasers are something you really want to play around with. So it's a good thing that the cord went missing. Yeah. Because I would have jacked myself up. And later on, being bored, looking at the stickers on it and looking at the piece of paper that came with it, I barely read manuals. I look through and I go, oh, that's interesting. Because I would have plugged it in. I know myself, I would have plugged in to see if it worked. Yeah, I would have taken my vision out. So good thing that did go missing. So everything happens for a reason. Everything has a reason why it happens. It does. Don't even try to fight it. Just let it go. No arguing about it. Just let it go. Everything happens for a reason. If something's out of your control, it happened for a reason. Now, if you can control it, yeah. If there's something you can control and do, yeah. But if it's out of your control, just let God handle it. There's the reason why it happened. I'm sitting there calling back to the post office, trying to figure out where this package went to, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. It was just meant for me not to have it. I had to come to the conclusion that, okay, this is God telling me that this is not meant for me to have. Not yet. Something must be going on. So I pulled out the laser and I started reading through it, because we got the laser and I'm reading the laser. I'm like, oh shoot, yeah. If I had basically went in and plugged this unit in, because it's supposed to be connected to the projector before you start plugging up the cords and stuff. Yeah. Radiation, when open, yeah, some stuff in here you're not supposed to do. You don't open this up at all, period. You can't open these things up. There's radiation here. But the laser is active. It void exposure to laser, which means my behind would have sat there and put that plug in there and plugged it in to see if this thing was actually working. And if I had basically put it up to my face, eyesight gone. So everything happens for a reason. That's like, I remember hearing this story on family radio about this hunter, and he was with this guide, and the guide basically was cleaning the gun, and the gun went off and shot the hunter in the hand and took one of his fingers off. And the hunter was looking at him saying, I know, I guess the guy was cleaning the gun, the servant was cleaning the gun, was talking about good, because it was good, because it could have took his head off, and no, he took a finger, because it could have been far worse. And he said, this is good, and the hunter said, no, this is bad. So the hunter put him in prison. So later on, the hunter gets this guide, and the guy is very inexperienced. And he ended up getting caught by headhunters. And the headhunters are really particular, if you know anything about the headhunters and history behind them, they're very particular about people losing limbs off their body. They think it's bad. At the end of the day, something is cursed. So they won't touch you with a 10-foot pole. They'll let you go. And of course, the guide, they ate him, but they didn't eat the hunter, because the hunter was missing a finger and he was considered to be tainted, so they let him go. So it was good that all that happened. Everything happens for a reason. Because maybe what was going to happen is they're probably going to end up in that same situation, and he would have been killed, and also too the whatchamacallit would have been killed. But he couldn't be killed because he was in jail, and he couldn't be killed because he lost a finger. Isn't that interesting? Everything happens for a purpose. Yeah. And oh yeah, long story short, he did go to jail, and he did apologize, and got the guy out of jail. Yeah, he got him out of jail. But yeah, so I thought that was a pretty interesting story. Everything happens for a purpose. Lord says, do all that you can do, and you can't do any more, you give the rest to me. And there's a reason why things happen. So don't sit there and get mad at God about it. We have a contract we're working on, and say the contract doesn't work through. Say the whole thing falls in. Do you think I get upset over that? No. The Lord saw something that I didn't see. So basically, he's warning me that this is not the way to go. This is not the path to travel down. Don't get mad about it because it didn't work out. The Lord has many blessings for you, and he's going to continue to bless you and continue to watch over you. But if it's not meant for you to have this, it's not meant for you to have this. And maybe because the Lord sees something that you can't see. That's the beautiful thing about having a Christian business, is the fact that you can see things, you can't see things, but God will see them for you. So you can sit in an office building, you can sit in a meeting, and everyone staring at you could be wolves staring right at you. The Lord will direct you exactly who to deal with, who not to deal with. You can have wolves and you can have angels. You can have demons, you can have angels, and the Lord will direct you who to do business with among those angels and to keep those demons far away from you. That's why it's good to have your business with the Lord. Okay, let's see right here. We got golf simulators. I want to also use it for boating and marina. Marina would be the same thing, right? Pools and marina projection screens. Pools and marina projection screens. Pools and pools and we get that in all caps. Did we not? Yes, we did. Oh, so glad tomorrow my part comes here tomorrow for the computer. I can finally turn this thing on. Yep, and it'll work. And the reason why, because we did the pre-test ahead of time. Because yeah, I made sure I went into the board and figured out exactly where the kill switches are or power switches on to turn that thing on, and everything came on. And then the one underneath of us, we're definitely going to turn that into a rack. I want it to be an open rack PC, but I am going to turn it into a gaming system because, you know, I've got my Steam account on it and it has like 20,000 or 18,000. I've been spending some of the points to do my setup. So definitely going to utilize that. Turn it into a work and gaming PC. You know, I'm sitting there working and, you know, need a little time to unstress out. You can just put a game on and play and smash some buildings up because I got that game where you destroy buildings on it. So definitely, yeah. As a matter of fact, I got a game on it right now. I can play and smash buildings up. But yeah. Let me turn this to it. So basically, because these are low profile PCs, we don't need a lot. And then we couldn't even put a big card in there anyway, because between the power supply and the ATX connector, it's just not going to fit. So I think the one underneath of it, throw it in the rack system, which we're going to go for like 15 bucks, that $15 rack system. We'll hook that up real quick. And we're going to put a nice radiator system. I think I want to do 3. It says 2. I do want to do the 3 unit. And let me see. I mean, that's a 500 gig hard drive. I think this one does have a 500 gig hard drive. Well, we can take that and put in the... No, I can leave it at 500. We're not really loading anything up. We got a bunch of games on there anyway. We can do 500. So we'll keep the 500 on there. I do have to basically redo the power supply. The power supply has to come out of there. Definitely. And the graphic card, I'm probably for both of these. I need a card that's going to fit because, again, the ATX power supply port is in the way. So I'm just going to go with, I got the 1050s in there. I'm going to go with the 1650s. That's a perfect card to put in there. There's plenty enough juice for what we're running there anyway. And that's basically about it. Hype it up with some lights and stuff like that. I might put a trace system through it, so lights all follow, chaser system through it. I think I might do that with that one too. But this one, since this case is going to be on the outside, everything's on the outside, I'm putting those lights in that move to do the color designs on. So it looks pretty cool. Definitely going to do that. Well, I wonder if there's an area in there that I can put in a portable projection screen. See, there we go. There we go. So let me see. Then wait a minute. If I can get a piece of plexiglass, and I can make a section in there where I can put a projector up on a little mount, like a little stand. Oh, that'd be pretty hot. Here's a story of a young lady. All of them had. I told you we never do anything normal. It's never going to be normal. Anything we build is never going to be normal. So now I want a projection screen up there with a projector that I can hook up my computer through. That has some fun. The rack system. Where is the picture of the rack system? The tabletop rack system. Oh, we can set that up in there with no problem whatsoever. Oh, and we have the plexiglass right here to do it. I want a good sized screen with it. Where's the other one at? I want a good sized screen. What's that one? Where's that one? We got one over here. Something on it. Where is it at? Now I can put it back in the box. Ah, yes. This is perfect. It's a good size. It's perfect. It'll fit nicely. But it depends on how big we want it. I mean, you want it smaller than this. How far would I have to be back? I don't want to take too much away. Oh, I could basically shrink the screen size. I can put hardware around it to put it the size that I want. I can build a nice close-in frame. So I wonder if I stick you here. But I want a nice little frame I can run my games off of it. This is not even coded. This is uncoded. I just want to get an idea how far my projector would have to sit back. I'm probably going to have to make a perch for it to do it. I'm going to get me another one of these. This is a fantastic picture projector, by the way. And these projectors can run off a battery pack, or you can power them up through USB, which will be fantastic. Come on, darn it. Oh, I know we got some juice in there. So what I want to do is I want to put in a torture rack unit, okay? But I'm going to actually install on the screen and put up a projector, which is going to be all hooked up, and I can actually run it right through this. We'll have to hook it up. No, projector's on like, oh. All right. It's going to be smaller than that. And the reason why we do this is because we need to know exactly how far is the perch going to be exactly from the screen itself. So they have to build a stand in the back that comes out where the projector can sit on, and we can project the little screen. But we need the projector to be on the opposite side. We don't want it to be in the front. I need it to be in the back. I want to see the whole computer design on the rack, and I want to see the little screen pop up. Oh, we got to do a steampunk. I want to do a steampunk, to tell you the truth, honestly. Steampunk would be hot. It's not a paint job. It's a big, big paint job. But still, it'd be hot. So my projector, that's a good size screen right there. YouTube.
All right, here's YouTube.
Now, for those of you saying, well, you know, you can just use the plexiglass the way it is. It won't read the contrast. When the problem we have lights on, it won't work at all. And mind you, when you take a projector and you set it up really close to the screen, it picks up better. When you pull them back, they become issues. And I know because we've done 150-inch screens through Windows, and if you basically can't get it right, it's not going to read at all, period. I have to use this projector in a fully lit environment. Ad tech is going to be applied to this. It's needed. It has to be applied to this because, again, I need for this thing to be drawing sunlight. So we need something a little bit different. So we need to do gaming trailers. Retro. Well, can we get Space Invaders? Space Invaders trailer.
Rated M for mature. Getting that from YouTube.
Space Invaders trailer.
3 days, not a single word. And you come home smelling like pina colada? That's my native.
Volume this down. That's all freak. Where's my volume down? Oh, that's the reverse. There we go. Let's see how close we have it for the visual start to come off. Excellent. I know exactly what we're putting together now. So what we're going to build is we're going to put together, I might do a different color coding the screen for invisible technology. I want something different. But it has to be black. So the black will come up much better. I got the black would be nice, but if we do it at the end of the day, I might do the black instead. Okay. Let me see. Did I put this in here already? I got two things. You know, I ever had two things going on in your head at the same time? Yeah, it happens to me a lot. So basically, I'm basically building the computer, and I'm basically putting in specifications for this right now. I need to basically get to this real quick. Hold on for a minute. Did I have it here, or did I get rid of it? Let's see. Bathroom, tabletop, bookcase. No, bathroom, tabletop. Oh, rack, it's rack. I want that small one they had. That thing was perfect. Oh. No. I need the other one. The other one's perfect. And then it says we're talking about something else, but the brain just went somewhere else just real quick. It's working on something crazy. We got Amazon. Alright. That would be really, really crazy. We gotta build one. I'm buying the rack ahead of time, so that way I can start construction on it. Here it is. This is absolutely perfect. I like this one right here, because it's open at the top. Now, what we're gonna do with this is, because I was looking at the different racks that they have, they're not gonna fit what we want. It's just not gonna happen. It's not enough room for what we want to put in. And I would like to put in a 420 millimeter. I would like a radiator system. I would like to put one of those in. But see how this is made? We're going to take a PVC pipe system, like about that thin, and we're going to pipe it all around, like a retrace all over it. That's going to allow me to be able to drill holes in, put all kinds of nuts and bolts and washers and stuff to be attached my equipment to, and my hard drive case screws. So we can put the screen here. We definitely can put the screen here, but we're going to have to put a built system around it. Something to make it look like it's part of the whole entire setup. That's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're definitely have to do. I definitely want a, oh man, I'm trying to keep this normal, and normals don't work for me. I want to do a dedicated liquid cooling system for the hard drive. I definitely want to do that. I know it's a bit overkill, but I just want to do something different. I might incorporate it into something else. The little projection screen setups. So let me see, because I'm doing a massive torture rack for. I decided to go with the torture rack for the i9. I definitely can put a screen in there, and I can do trailers or anything from Warhammer right through my screen. But it has to, like, it's actually a part of it. It can't be sitting out in the open. It has to have a structure around it, frame around it, that blends into the hardware itself, so it looks more realistic. And that's where we get to building crazy stuff. So we have to make it look like it's actually a part of the structure. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to build a piece that comes back here that connects, that you can put the projector on, but it has to be foldable, so it comes right back up and it folds back underneath of it. Come back out, put the little projector right there, it pushes right through here, and it shows the image on the other side. And meanwhile, we just build the projection and all that stuff right around it. And since it's powered by USB, that's easy. We can run all the USB cables and everything in, power it up with no problem. And then when I'm gaming on my system, everything's lighting up and displays and the RGBs are firing up. And then you got the little screen coming up showing Pac-Man and different demonstrations and stuff. Or I can just work off my computer through it. Big enough screen. Can I work on my computer through it? I don't even know. I'm just going to use it for gaming. That's what I use it for, a showcase, some kind of cool design to it. So in order for us to do that, can we do both at the same time? Or we can't do both at the same time because we have one video card. We like to put a video card splitter in it, but that might not work at all. We put a splitter through it. Ooh, okay. I'll have to put a switch box in there. Gonna have to. HDMI switch box. That will allow me to be able to switch out whether I want to basically do a little gaming off the smaller screen and play around, or I want to switch it back to the main screen. Alright, that'll definitely work. That sounds like a plan. All right. See that? Crazy at the end of the day? I came here talking about screen paint, and I told you my brain races from one section to the next. So yeah, now we got a new idea. But we're going to turn this into a rack, because I've seen the rack system that they have. And when a guy took it out of the box, and I was looking at the 65 pieces laying in front of him, I was like, oh, what the freak? I'm not putting that together. And then the instruction, even he didn't want to do the instruction. He was like, we'll wing it. But this, keep in mind, on that rack system, you can't add anything you want. Certain things will fit and certain things won't fit. We're going to make it so ours fits. So we're just going to basically put the PVC tubing around here everywhere we need to basically lock things to a little better. And then when it comes down here to the bottom right, this is where my motherboard's going to be at. We're going to drop PVC pipe in here, here, and across here. Put in our hard drive, sorry, our motherboard screws, lock it right in place. Same thing like with the Tupperware. It's the same thing. A little different. We can hide our wires and cables and everything right through piping. Yep, right through piping. And on top of that, we can paint the pipes whatever we want, which I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided what kind of build we're going to do here. But I do know I'll put in 2 radiators. I know that for a fact. That's definitely going to happen. So I might put a radiator system on this side and one on that side. Would be pretty cool. Okay, well, yeah, brainstorming again. I'm gonna crazy stuff, but this is what I'm definitely gonna convert this. 15 bucks. And this is easy to put together. All right, the other one's got 45,000 pieces attached to it. This is how easy to put together. Da, ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. You're done. That's it. And then we go into the cutter, modification, cut holes, screws, wherever we got to put in that baby. Look how small it is. It's perfect. Nice little PC setup. I love it. I love it. Now, for those of you saying, oh, you don't want to do it, okay, it's too hard. You ever put together a UFO torch rack before? I have. I put one of those together, and my instructions were in Japanese. Yes, 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 yes. That thing is insane to put together. The entire PC is made out of clear acrylic. Even the screws are all made out of clear acrylic. And here's the funny thing about it. There are 6 sets of screws, and they go in different directions. Yeah, you got to figure out which ones go to which. I didn't like that one at all, period. Japanese. Yeah, and I did 2 of those cases as clear acrylic cases. And the case I did for the steampunk was acrylic. Except for this one, I got the instructions. It was a much easier build. But that other one by Danger Dan, oh my goodness! I was like, you got to be kidding me! I was all excited. I got it. I thought it was going to be coming in a box, like already pre-built. And it was this thin box that I was looking at on a porch. I was like, that's my case. And when I open up, I go, oh, you got to build the case. And then the screws, you can see right through them. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't forget that experience ever. I miss those Danger Dans real quick. I know I'm supposed to be doing something real quick. Danger Den. No, you got it wrong again. Let's reprint that. Danger Den PC cases. There we go. Yeah, we got it right. What's the big ones? The big ones, UFOs. The big case. Are they still selling these? They're not doing the UFOs anymore. Here's a PC case. UFO cases. These were the acrylics. Let me see. I guess I didn't know. See-through. I don't even know why I even hit the caps on that. Don't even ask me why. They had these cases. They were huge. And these cases took like 1,540 millimeter fans. You know how big a case would have to be? They take 1,540 millimeter fans. They were huge. You can put in 2 liquid cooling systems, 2 motherboards. Yeah, you can actually attach your motherboard and server in the same time in the same unit. These things were huge. They were giant. They were massive. Look, someone over there has a mineral oil PC. But remember, I'm the only one who does that at the end of the day. Yeah, everybody does those things. Anyway, everybody and just about anybody who's done PCs is definitely going to do one of those. Or basically they've already done one of those. Here we go. These are some of the other ones they had right there. Oh, they made some beautiful towers, man. Can you buy these towers anymore? I wonder if you can get these. These are really, really sick towers. Whew. Beautiful builds. Beautiful builds. I so it's like when I go pick up my Xbox 360. When I first got the first one, I left it intact. Second one intact. Third intact. Fourth intact. When I got around to the Elite system, that was the black version, and that thing burnt on me, I was like, "That's it. I'm going in." I went to go pick it up from the store. I picked up I did an arcade core system, and I went to go pick it up, and I told the guy, "Do you want a warranty?" I was like, "Nope. I am going to mod the daylights out of this thing. And people on the side started laughing because they always like, "You need a warranty?" No, I'm good. I'm gonna mod the deal. I did a mod the daylights out of that thing. Yeah, I went down and ordered my tools from Amazon to go inside and open it up and everything, man. Yeah, I popped that thing open. When I looked inside, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me! IBM motherboard. This is what we have sitting in these things. This is supposed to be all great, powerful system. Oh, come on." Man, that's the reason why. I think the Xbox 360 has to be one of the most modded systems ever. It is the most modded. And the reason why it became that way, the reason why there were just so many, just put it in a nicer way, I don't want to say it here, but you know what I mean, against with an H-A-C-K, you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, E-R. On that particular server, because some systems were burning out left and right, and people got tired of it. And if you had any kind of computer skills and building program or whatever, you were going in that thing one way or another. And we did the box. Everybody did the coffin. I did the coffin twice, where basically if you haven't done the coffin, that means that once your system burns out, you know, you do the naive thing and you send it back to Microsoft, and Microsoft sends you out this box. They call the box the coffin. You put your gaming system in it, and then, you know, you write all that down and send it off. I would advise you to mark your board, because make sure you get your right board back, because sometimes they'll replace your board for somebody else's, and that board can be far worse. So it could have problems later on. Make sure you get your own board back. But anyway, so I sent it off, and then after 2 weeks of waiting, almost in the 3 weeks of going into sheer madness because I couldn't game online. You know, my friends were calling me what they were doing. It finally came back with a month free of Xbox Live. So they give you a month free for when you bring the coffin back. And I'm all happy. I got my system back. It's running. And then I was playing Samurai Warrior. If you ever played that game, there's a lot of buffering going on in there. System's heating up. And it went doosh, and it shut off. No red ring flashed up, and I was like, I thought they fixed it. They didn't. I don't know what they did. They didn't fix it because it burnt out. So I got tired of it. I trashed it, and I went and bought another one. GameStop was right across the street from me, so I just walked up to GameStop and bought another one. Bought a new one, which is supposed to be much better. And guess what? I'm burnt out too. And then it's supposed to come out with the all-black elite version that has a 1 terabyte hard drive and it's frost chip on it that would never burn out. And that one burnt out too. And I was like, okay, we're going in, because that's it. I'm done. I'm modding it myself. I'm to figure out. I'm not taking it back. I'd rather fix it myself. If something breaks, at least I can fix it. And I went and got the core system, which is the arcade version. And I went and picked it up with the arcade version. I went and go pick it up. And the guy was like, "You sure you want a warranty with it?" I was like, "Oh, heck no. I'm going to mod the daylights out of this." Got that thing home, cracked it open, looked inside. I was like, yeah. This is a piece of cake. It's just, man, when I took that thing apart, man, the heat shields, why were they in there to begin with? They should have never been there to begin with. The optical drive was inches away from the GPU. Of course you're having problems in there. If in there buffering this huge, massive game with all these freaking characters like Samurai Warrior, you know what I mean, or Samurai Showdown with all these warriors running across the game, like Dynasty Warrior, you play that. And your freaking GPU is getting no air at all, period. It's just almost sitting on top of the optical drive. You're cooking yourself. And then the fan system that they had on top of the CPU is the cheapest thermal paste you could possibly buy. It did a better job if they just used tinfoil and Elmer's glue. It was horrible. I was really upset. It was just really horrible. Not a good job at all. And then mine had a spring lock system, which means that the CPU was pretty much the only thing holding the CPU fan to the processor, because basically it had some kind of spring lock system. So once that thermal paste started to give away, became brittle because of the heat, because it didn't do a good job at the day, those springs start to lift, and they start to lift because of the friction in between them. Your system goes. Just like that. There was a number of reasons why that system would went down extremely easy, but it was not done right at all, period. And there was no air circulation in that thing whatsoever because it was in a compressed box. So That's where people got to work. You had so many people on YouTube showing you so many different ways, but as they were in there, they were figuring out stuff like, you could do this to it, you could do that to it, and do this and do that, and people were J-tagging them and all that stuff, and that's where everything went crazy. If we had no reason, few people are going to go into their box and mess around. But if you're forced to go in there because you're tired of them burning out, then you're going to figure out crazy stuff at the end of the day. And yeah, people are going to post it, and other people are going to take that stuff and do something crazier, and they're going to do something crazier with it, and you're going to have all this stuff all over the internet. Let me see. Inside the Xbox 360. Oh, I missed this so much. The inside of the Xbox 360. Oh, man. Yeah. There's your fan system right there. Oh, man, I took this whole thing apart and stripped this thing down. And then they had that little piece that connected on the top of it. That was the hard drive. It was nothing special. It was just basically a 2.5 laptop hard drive in there. That's all it was. And it just had a little piece that connected up inside. So basically it would connect to the headers. That's it. But if you got a hard drive extender, you could throw the hard drive anywhere you want. Then you had the optical drives with it. All that stuff. Yeah, that's your board right there. That's all it was right there. That's it. There's nothing special about it. Low profile PC. That's all it was. You know, Scottie Pippen had his own game system? Yeah, it's called the Pippen. Anything, look it up. It had a Macintosh motherboard in it. I know one thing, you couldn't swap out your optical drive. You had to have the same optical drive because it was coded. You had the same optical drive you had in there, one just like it. You had to basically go order the one. You had to write down the codes and go look for that particular one because it wouldn't read any one you wanted to put in there. Right now, people did a lot of experimenting with them. But they're easy to get into. Very easy to get into. So let me see. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I never went into my controller. I had a buddy who did that. He went to controllers. He modded them out to make him the ability to be able, oh, someone did put it in a PC. Well, it's not really hard to do, to tell you the truth, because then, you know, you can separate. What I like about this is you can actually separate your optical drive. You can put that into a bay, because that's what I did with mine. When I did my case, I put my optical drive, and I got extenders. You got extender SATA cables, because the SATA cables came with that were really short. So just put that into another compartment over here, and you can take your hard drive and drop it down here. That's basically your motherboard right there. That's it. And since it had onboard video, so, you know, there you go with that. GPU. 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 RAM, and it had its own chip, Microsoft Xbox 360 chip in it right there. Yep, they had their own chip in there. Wait, they had 4 ports on it? Where did I get this one? Because mine didn't have 4 ports on it. Oh, it did have 4 ports on it. Could have did liquid cooling on that. This is what you want to look for in your motherboard. You see that right there? There's 4 holes right here and here. That means you can attach liquid cooling on here. Ooh, I could have did liquid cooling on here. We'll have to liquid cool Xbox 360. Just for the heck of it all. Just for the heck of it. We got to do one. Just for the heck of it all. Now, how would you run it? Because basically you don't have any Molex cables. Wait a minute, can we plug this into the board? Because I forgot if the board had some. Let's see for a minute. The headers for the board. Yeah, because the GPU's interesting. The one's basically running for the liquid cooling system. The RGB. The one that's running for the liquid cooling system you can't exactly plug that. You can't get a 4-pin connector and basically convert the female to a male and plug that into your floppy drive power supply output, because it's not going to go well. That thing literally has to go into the motherboard. It has to. So that's why I had to order a special piece for that one, which is a 5-pin Dell female that connects into the motherboard fan, and then the other end has a 4-pin that connects right back into the to run the liquid cooling in the fans. Whew. Can you imagine? You're memorizing all that, and on top of that, the stuff you're building in your head for the PC part, and then on top of that, the chemicals you're making for the screen paint. It's kind of crowded in here right now. This is why I have to go in the park. Oh, and the woman, I got a chance to talk to her. I went back and talked to her. She's a really nice person. I'm a jerk at the end of the day, just to let you know. I do apologize for my actions on that one. Well, she was just sitting down next to me. She wasn't sitting next to me. She sits in that part in between these times. She's a crossing guard on the other end. I know I've seen her before because I walked that same path up there, and I think I bumped into her before. But anyway, she comes in and she sits and she just stares at the scroll. Sometimes people just need to unwind. They need to just sit back. She plays her game over there, and she just basically just watches the squirrels. I think that's pretty cool. Gotta stop being on the offensive all the time. It's not good. But I went back and talked to her. She's a real nice person. I should start playing my phone games over there. A bunch of phone games over there. I can play my games over there. Alright, let me see. These are modifications. That's definitely a modification right there, because they don't have that on there at all, period. Not on that box, they don't. Oh, yeah, you could have. Yes, sirree. Why didn't they put liquid cooling on there? They literally had everything there to do liquid cooling. And an ATI 65 GPU. Oh. I remember the Philips DVD drives they had on there. $150 watt power supply. The brick. I think that was the brick. It was the brick. Welcome to the brick. Yeah. Oh, no. That did come with that system, because that was the cooling system. Some had the fans, some had the cooling systems like this. They had 2 fans right here, a fan here and a fan there. And it's supposed to blow air right here on the heat sink. And a lot of good that did. It's November 2005. Well, they made a lot of money off me because I bought a lot of those suckers. Let me see. Xbox 360 Residential Evil Limited. Residential Evil. Red box. Those boxes were red when they came out. It's part of the Elite series. Let me see. Xbox 360 Limited Edition Halo.
Here's some information about Microsoft Xbox 360,320 gigabytes Limited Edition Halo 4 console. The new Xbox 360. Wi-Fi is built in for easier connection to the world of entertainment on Xbox Live, where HD movies and TV.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the limited edition. It was green, just like Halo. It wasn't this one, because these were basically the face plates that you could put on. Some of them you could change out the cases, but that is the original one. That's a limited edition. They were green. That one came with 320 gigabytes. Xbox 360 Elite Edition. These are the black ones. These are supposed to have a new frost chip on them so they don't burn out. That's what your unit would look like if you had the limited edition. That's what they look like. I think these had what? These had, what did the limited edition have for the hard drive space? 250, let me see. Xbox 360 limited edition 1 terabyte. He had a Call of Duty too. Call of Duty edition. Oh, 500 gigabytes. I don't think we had a terabyte on any of these. I think 500 gigabytes was the highest you can get one. So I'm curious about that. I find interesting about this real quick. What was the hard drive space on the PS3? You gotta be kidding me. They can't be right on that. 2 terabytes? What the freak? How the freak is the PS3? You can't be right. That's gonna be jacked up if that's actually true. That can't be right. And somebody gotta be off on that one. Let's see. Okay, they had 20, 40, 60, or 160 gigabytes. And nowhere in the world. That system had 2 terabytes sitting on top of it. And you mean to tell me that the system they have now doesn't even have that? Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Hold on for a minute. Let me see. All right, let me see. Maximum support on the PS3 was 1 terabyte was the maximum. I remember people trying to put 2 terabytes on them. PS3. So wait a minute. So let's see. Specifications on the PS3. This will give me a better idea. People are insinuating. So you had 256 gig. 256 gig for memory. You got 16 gigs. So yeah, you're way up there now. And that one right there alone by itself. But I'm more concerned about the hard drive. What does the thing have for hard drive space? That's megabytes, gigabytes. Megabytes would be for RAM, not for freaking much more. No, give me that one. Give me specifics, like what is the hard drive space? Jeez. Hard drive space on the PS3.
According to WikiHow, system settings is usually the first option under Settings, and it's next to a box icon. Navigate to System Information and press Times. It's at the bottom of the menu. Check next to Free Space, and your memory information will be listed there.
Do we have one of those to check that? No, we do not. Then why didn't you just tell me what the hard drive space was? It literally showed me how. Did I put down how to check the hard drive space? Hard drive space on the PS3. How hard is that to figure out? Yeah, AI. Funny. That's a good one. That's a real good joke. Really good one. Good. So basically, let me see. PlayStation 3 hardware about sizes. Hard disk was 20, 40, 60, 80, 160 gigabytes. All right, okay, that's more normal. PS4 hard drive space.
According to AOMEI Partition Assistant, PS4 comes with 500 gigabyte storage space, and it seems literally big. However, as the size of an individual game tends to be larger and larger, for example, the latest version of GTA 5 occupies around 80 gigabytes, the storage space of PS4 is no longer sufficient, and PS4 storage full problem frequently occurs to its users.
But the Slim was 1 terabyte. What's the hard drive space on the PS4 Slim?
500 gigabytes. According to TechRadar, there's only 500
Slim has
gigabytes
terabyte.
of space on the standard PS4 and PS4 Slim, and a larger 1 terabyte on PS4 Pro.
So the Slim, that has a terabyte sitting on top of it. That's the Slim model. Slim models came with terabytes. And the reason why this came with 500, because remember I told you about the whole DRM craziness that went on with the Xbox and the PS5. We're going to use Infinity Cloud Space at that particular time. That's what they were betting on. It was Infinity Cloud Space. And you know, at that particular time, people weren't ready for DRM. They weren't ready for just being online all the time. They just weren't ready for it. And the Xbox went out talking about this whole cloud system and the 500 gigabytes and how you can't share games because you own the license and all that crazy nonsense went with it. And then people didn't receive it too nicely. And of course, the PS5 is going to do the same thing because again, why would you put a 500 gig hard drive on a system that was taking up 40 gigs easily? So they sat back and they watched the Xbox crash and burn, and they came back with a slogan saying sharing is caring. That's where that came from. That's where all that craziness came from. They were going to do the cloud too. If they weren't, they would have started off with a terabyte of hard drive space, which later on came on with the Slim system. And the Pro systems had the terabyte hard drive space, which is required and needed. But the sad thing about it is, it's a terabyte from the door, where the PS5 doesn't come off with a terabyte, it comes with 800. And it ends with 600 after your system does all its updates and all that other crazy nonsense attached to it. They downgraded your hard drive. Xbox did too. It did the same thing too. It downgraded your hardware. So you got an amazing CPU. You got an amazing, your RAM is good. 16 is more than enough. But your hard drive, they screwed you. In so many ways, it's not even funny. Why is your hard drive so low? It should never be that low. What are we doing at 600 gigabytes? Really? You're literally almost near the standard of a PS4 at 500. But if you have 6, that ain't too far off. You should have never had that. You should have had 4 terabytes from the door. You already had a terabyte on the Slim. Why would you basically, oh my goodness. Let's go look at this, make sure we're right. What's the hard drive on the PS5? 825. I don't care if it is solid state drive. It's 825. So the older gen system behind me has around a terabyte of hard drive space, right? Which isn't a lot. It isn't. 27 games will eat this no time whatsoever. But you guys will say, when I have this conversation, my Xbox 2 does the same thing too. When I sit there and say, well, we can upgrade. Yeah, you can upgrade, but it's going to cost you more money. It's going to cost you more than what the system is worth. You're going to do what, a terabyte? We're going to do 8 terabytes of solid state drive. Let's see, M2 solid state drive, 8 terabytes. 8 terabytes solid state drive. Oh, let's get the Quack Jackson. It's not cheap, because I looked it up and I was like, what the freak? Like, really? Because I was just going to buy it. They had to make it simple for me just to go in and just put in just 8 terabytes and be done with it. That'd be neat, you know? That'd be nice. I mean, that'd be real nice, you know. But you got 2 terabytes here, right? And then over here you have 8 terabytes. We're at $623. And then over here you have, let me see, these things start to rise. You got 4 terabytes coming in at $402. Oh man, yeah. I'm really looking forward to this. But keep in mind that those right there pretty much probably have cheap heat spreaders on them. They're probably going to overheat because these things get hot pretty quick. And you're literally going to lose it either way. You're going to, mind you, lose $400 right there from the door because your system couldn't disperse heat and it overheated and burnt out. So you want to get a really good one, right? Really high performance one. There you go. That's a good high performance one. That'll do the job right there. $859. No, that thing is not cheap at all, period. So you can max it out to 8 terabytes. You're just going to spend more money than what the system is actually worth, because that system is not worth $859. I can get a PS5 for $500. Yeah. Oh, we got one over here for $700. $800. Oh man. So you can go with, oh my goodness, here we go. Things get pricey. You can go with 4 terabytes. 4 terabytes ain't bad. But you gotta remember, I mean, if I'm gonna do 4 terabytes, I'm gonna go with the official card. 64 terabytes. They got one here at 216. That's not bad. That's a good price right there. Another one right there, about 320. Right there. Whew, man. I didn't even think about spending $300 for a system. I just spent $500 for it. That's the part that sucks. There is a 16 terabyte. Is there one? Do they make one? Oh no. Yeah, it's that's crazy. That's definitely crazy. There is no way in the world. That's not for a console. That's way too much money. Yeah, you can upgrade to 8 terabytes. You can. It's just gonna cost you a lot of money. That's all. Meanwhile, PS5 console system, $500. So you can spend $450. $450 for a console system, and literally are going to have to sit there and spend almost close to about $1,000 to update this thing because it has 600 sitting in it once that update goes through, and they gave you 825. Why would you give it 825? Why? Literally, you got to think about that one. I'm sorry, I know we're way off topic here, but I got to buy one of these units. I'm not sitting there laughing because I'm not going to basically buy one. I'm just going to go build my monster PC at the end of the day and just sit there and just laugh at people at consoles going, "Ooh, man, it must suck to be you." No, I'm a console player myself. I got to sit there and pay the money at the end of the day. I can't leave that thing the way it is. What the heck am I going to do with 600 gigs of hard drive space? I can't do anything with that. That's nothing. I want the GTA 6, even though I'm going to have it on my PC instead, but still, I'm going to download it there. That's 300 gigs. Let me look this up real quick. How much memory is GTA 6 taking?
According to Chill
Let me make sure right on this.
one area that will need attention is the storage space required to install the game. With a substantial 150 gigabytes required, consider upgrading your system with an SSD for faster load times, even if it's a small one.
Wait, let me make sure this is right. GTA? Possible the game could take up to 300 gigabytes of space. Yeah, I think the jerk contacted me on that one too. Where are you getting that from? It says possible it can take up to 300. It depends on how big these maps are. And on top of that, keep in mind all the DLC downloads, and you know what GTA does when it has DLC downloads. It has tons of those. So yeah, it's possible the game could take up. Now this says possible it could take up. You really want to run the risk of not having enough room? You don't want to do that. Biggest downloads of PS5.
Here is information from Statista.
GTA 5. Elder Rings. Good gracious, what the freak does Elder Ring take up? I gotta keep in mind, what does that take up? Because I know that's a huge game from the door. Elder Ring? I think it's Elder Ring, if I'm saying correctly. Elder Ring, or Eden Ring. I'm probably saying it correctly. Let me see. Sure got this right. I'm curious what that thing takes up because I know for a fact that's a big game. That's a big platform game. I'm curious what it takes. I'm just curious. The GTA is number one. Ring. Let me see, PS5. Let me see, download size. That ain't bad. About 16 gigs, 16.502. That ain't bad. That's not bad at all. Because Warhammer, I think, is like 75. How much room does it take to download Warhammer? How much hard drive space does it take to download Warhammer? Yeah, 120. All right, so it's going to be Warhammer requires 128 gigs. Jeez, that's the first one. Why is the second one much lesser? Warhammer 2 requires 75 gigs. How much hard drive space does it take for Call of Duty?
According to the gamer, the average GB for the Call of Duty games is about 63 gigabytes. As such, the real average size of a modern Call of Duty game is around 120 to 150 GB.
That's a lot of space. It eats up pretty quick. That's why they require you to basically download the game first. There's no way to you to run this. This thing will buffer, man. You have all kinds of overheating issues. I wonder if there's a game that actually takes up a terabyte of hard drive space. Is there a game out there that takes up a terabyte of hard drive space? No, listen to me. Is there a game that takes up a terabyte of hard drive space? I would love to see that game. A game that takes up 1 whole terabyte? Greatest game in the world. No, I wouldn't think that would do it, but that'd be interesting. I gotta look into that. I gotta research that. Is there a game that takes up an entire terabyte? Jeez, that would be insane. What kind of game would that even be? That's a huge, massive game. It's gonna get like that sooner or later, but then again, by the time we get to that, basically, console games, being able to eat whole entire terabyte for one game, you're not even console anymore. I guarantee you are PC. You're definitely PC. I guarantee you that the new systems, if they do a PS6, it's going to be a PC. You're already halfway there. You got your foot already there. You're going to be a PC. You're definitely going to be a PC. Yep. And you can't sit there and say, and then the argument's going to be now that you're PC, but you still want to hold on that you're console. Man, they stick you in one of these cases right here. Even in the small micro cases, they stick you in your PC. Just accept it. You have now become full circle. You have now accepted your rightful place. You are now PC. And then you're going to hear the endless bragging of PC gamers. It is going to be an onslaught. They're going to be like, you finally, after all this time of dancing around out there, you finally accepted your place. Yep, you'll be PC. This is why why won't you admit it at the end of the day? Look at your system. Your system has 16 gigabytes on it. Genesis never had 16 gigabytes, and Nintendo never had 16 gigabytes sitting on top of it. You're running with an RTX. They got an RTX, I think 6700, something like that. Some crazy stuff you have on it. Well, I gotta look this up real quick. You guys are actually literally almost a PC. PS5 specifications. You are literally almost a PC. Now, you're not like, okay, I wouldn't say basically an elitist, because you got to remember, in PC class, there's class of PC, which you mean you have your standards, your mid, and then you have the elitists. The elitists, on the other hand, they consider themselves to be over everybody. Even if you are part of the PC race, or the PC master, whatever they call themselves in the day, the elitists are over everybody. It's like having the top Gundam. That's what you are. Oh, sorry about that. You got a Zen 2. Still ain't bad. Still pretty good. Still pretty good. You're a PC. Loading. Yeah, PC parts in here. Usually they have their own kind of chips. Like, Microsoft has a whole 360 chip and stuff like that. You have your own little chips that y'all make yourselves. You really got PC parts in this machine. There's your hard drive space right there. What? That's okay. Sorry. Wait a minute, quick, I went down the wrong pipe. Man, I gotta stop eating and talking at the same time. Whew. Ugh, that's the worst feeling ever. You ever have a piece of food going lodge in your nose? That's just, oh, it hurts. Anyway, let me see. Yeah. So let me see. Optical drive. You know, optical drive is Blu-ray. You have a PC. It's a low version PC. It is. It's a low version PC. It's a very low version PC, but you still have a PC at the end of the day. They want to make it sound like you have a console, but you have a PC. You're doing downloadable. You're doing download. You can download games and all that stuff. Like that. You do the same thing PC does. Same thing Steam does. And you go in there, you download games and stuff. You go to my PS4 system. I download the same way I download over here on PC. It wasn't like that back then. Back then, you were console. Console is basically you didn't have no internet, you didn't have no Facebook, no YouTube, none of that stuff. You didn't have anything. You had a cartridge and a memory card you would stick in there. If you're talking about real for real, and some of them didn't even have memory cards. They had an internal memory system in it when the first older ones came out. But the first ones came out. But that's what it was. That's it. And you literally have PC parts in this thing. So with that being said, you are basically technically a watered down PC, your standard PC, which isn't bad, which is pretty good. You consider the fact when the Genesis and all the different eras came up, you had the Genesis, you had the NES, you had Sega Master System and TurboGrafx 16, and heck, one of the top systems was Neo Geo. But anyway, yeah, they put you in a regular case just like this, man, you're a PC. I think they're going to keep the cases because the cases, what they feel basically separates you. What's next? If you get something like, okay, say the next system comes with, they put a Pentium in there and you get something like probably like an i7. They put an i7 on your board and you've got 4 terabytes or maybe 5 terabytes of hard drive space on there. That's pretty good. And they give you something like 32 RAMs. 32 RAMs of memory. So you got yeah, you're a PC. That's it. That's pretty much it. This is a PC right here. That's pretty much what it is. So basically, you're a PC inside of a console case. Same thing with the Xbox. So the Xbox looks like a giant trash can. It does look like a trash can. I'm sorry, it looks like a square waste paper can. I hate that thing the way it looks. I like the PSC model better than I like the Xbox. I hate that thing. But anyway, it could have been in a better case. Xbox has some beautiful designs. Why would you stick it in a box? But anyway, yeah, you're a PC. That's what you are. You're a PC. You're just basically inside of a case instead of a console case. And the sad thing about it is the console case doesn't really have enough ventilation in there. They should have gave you a regular power supply like we have on PC. That'd have been nice. And they should have had it separate, so it's in a separate compartment, and gave you a much bigger case, which would have been pretty cool. And they should have started you off with like 4 terabytes, would have been really nice. But everything else on it's pretty cool. And I want people to think at the end of the day, oh, he's putting down console. Not putting on console, because I'm console myself. I would have liked that they did that myself, but I'm taking mine out and I'm putting it inside of a case. So it's PC, I'm putting it in a PC case. That's where it belongs at. I'm putting like a cooling system and all that stuff on it, so my system doesn't burn out on me. But yeah, you have a PC. And then your hard drive is the M2. It's an M2 solid state drive. Are you kidding me? It's PC parts. Yeah. So you have a PC. You just have a standard. Let's just say watered down. Let's say standard PC. That's what you have. I just not liking this. This is what I don't like. I don't like that at all. Period. They really should have did a better job with that. Yep. So what's the next system going to be like? So like I said, the next system could be an i7 in there. They could drop an i7 in that baby. You can get like 32 in your RAM, 32 gigs of RAM, and they give you a whopping like 5 terabytes of hard drive space and all that. And then what they're going to do is they're going to compress you in this little tiny case where your system's going to overheat and burn out. Because that's literally what it's going to do. They have to stick them in bigger bodies. They have to. And it'd be nice. It's $50. I pay $50 for my liquid cooling system in here. It cost me $50 for that. They can stick liquid cooling in there. They can do that. Yeah, you have a PC. You definitely have a PC. You don't have like you have a standard PC, but it's still good. It's a long way from what console came from, but you see where you're going at? You're going full circle. They upgrade this thing again to another console. You are a PC. You're a PC right now, but you will be officially a PC because especially if they're putting parts in like that, eventually the power supply is going to have to be changed out. They're going to put a much bigger power supply in it, and they're going to have to put in a bigger case and better cooling in there. The little fans they stick in there, that's not enough. They got some big 120 millimeter fans, some 140s in there, has some bunch of fans in the front, fans in the back, intake out. You gotta have all that stuff in there. Your system's gonna overheat. You be bricking left and right. So yeah. Welcome to PC. I mean, you're already doing the downloading and all that stuff already, right? Yeah, welcome to PC. So PC, and this is gonna ruffle some feathers. Sorry about it. Like I said, I'm a console gamer myself, and I love console, and I always will love console. I love PC too. I like both of them. But it's kind of like we were telling you was going to happen. You were going to convert to full PC. I literally had chats about this in rooms way back where I said, look, you guys are coming closer to PC. Pretty soon they're going to be putting PC parts in your console system, but they're still going to give you these tiny little cases at the end and very, very poor cooling on it. But when your system pops up with a good sized case and some cool, a nice cooling system on it, you've just hit PC. Console creeping closer to PC. Yeah, you're getting there. I need to research and look at all this now. And then once you reach the world of PC, then you realize that when they start allowing you to go into your system, well, pretty much you're like PC with a lock on your door because they still don't allow you to mess with stuff. You should be able to mess with anything you want in there. Like in there, I can go and mess with whatever I want. I don't care. Warranty? We don't have a warranty. We need to mess with the parts. I don't go in there and mess with the parts that go in there. Like if I take apart my video card, then basically I void my warranty. But other than that, yeah, I can mess with everything I want in there. But with you guys, if it gets to a point where they're going to allow you to basically pull your RAM out and basically do what you want to do with it and upgrade and stuff like that, and you know, I don't know why you would have an optical drive on there. I really don't know why. But anyway, anything else and they allow you to play around with, other than the hard drive space, yeah, you have a PC. That's what you have. I can see it right now. Like I can see it in my head right now of console getting dubbed, finally getting dubbed to be in the PC world. And they'll come like, oh my goodness, it's glorious, it's beautiful. Welcome, brother. You'll come in, and then all of a sudden the sky get real dark. And you see this bright light pushing through. Like, what's that? Those are the elitists. They walk by and they go, We don't judge at the PCs. I don't judge the PCs. I see other PC builds now. If they built on least the system, I don't go in there and basically rank on somebody else's PC. I can compliment anybody. That's pretty nice and all. But I just tell them my specs I have in my machine and I always get that. What the frick you got that in there for? Why would you need that? I don't know. I just bought it for the sake of bought it. And we laugh and joke about it. That's pretty much it. That's all we do in there. I don't see people in there just trashing other people at the end of the day. Everybody in there paid for parts. At the end of the day, we all worked hard for it. But yeah. Those are the elitists that walk by. The sky lights up and everything. We see the Saturn and stars and everything all coming together in the alternate universe. Like, what the frick? Oh, those are the elitists. PC elitists. Yeah, these are the monsters. Like that guy who built that PC by scratch, that's an elitist right there. That's insane. That's an insane build. Got me thinking about taking apart my power supply and redesigning it now. Yeah, the PC elitist. Pretty much means that you have a real super powerful machine that half of the stuff in there you are never going to really use at the end of the day. It's just insane specifications in there. Like a Tesla video card. Tesla video cards, back around 7 years ago had 24 gigs of RAM, 24 gigs of memory on them. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at the old Tesla cards. Yeah, and the same stuff in there, man. People got like 5090s in there. Those are elites in there running on crazy graphic cards, $8,000 cards and stuff like that. Like, wow. So wait a minute. What is the highest you can max out on a motherboard now for RAM? Highest you can max out on a motherboard for RAM. Highest you can max out on a motherboard for RAM. Ooh, so yeah. What happened to the 256? Yeah, remember I told you about that? The 256 RAM capability motherboards. I had one. It's called 2011 motherboard. The server boards. They were 256 gigs of RAM. And people literally thought I was sitting there talking trash at the end of the day. There's no such thing as a 256 on a motherboard, but yes, there was. There was a 2011 server board. It had gigalads on them. You know, 10100, 101,000. They had gigalads on them. This was server boards. So basically, usually server boards have running like Tesla video cards on them. They were used on them. But anyway, yeah, they were 256 gigs of RAM. You're not going to be using that. That's a lot of RAM, man. Yep. You used to have them. You're talking about extreme power. Who the freak needs all that? Like, I don't even know why I even bought it. Like, literally conversations that people having are funny. I don't even know why I even bought it. So now what do we cut at now? And by the way, if you had a board like a 2011 that had 256 gigs of RAM, you had a 4-core processor, which means your system had 4 CPUs on one motherboard. Try to liquid cool that nightmare. You also had the socket AM5. They also supported 256 gigabytes of memory. That's, you could run anything. I mean, literally freaking anything. You don't even go through a checklist. Steam usually has this checklist that goes off to make sure your computer is basically equipped to run certain games, and you won't even pop up on you. See, people, the crazy questions people ask: does a terabyte of RAM exist? I'm curious if it does, man. That's crazy. People just, I love when people ask for crazy questions. Is it overkill? Yeah, freaking overkill. What freak isn't a terabyte of RAM? For what? I used to get that all the time. You work for NASA? Like, nah. I just saw the board. I saw the 4 cores on it. I was like, oh, look at my 4 CPUs on this thing. Motherboards that run 4 CPUs. Bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Dell got one too. Bum bum bum. 4 CPUs, baby. Yeah. See those stick slots right there? Right there, yep. That's all your RAM's gonna go to. Look at that. That's insane, ain't it? Yep. It's an $849 board. Sheesh, what would you even use this for? And this basically a server. When I got a phone or I can call somebody. So I had to build a liquid cooling system for this. Much like a little T system that would connect here, like a little system right here. More like a T, more like a little spot in the middle, and you would connect there, and there. Because I had to figure out how to cool this thing. Because you're not, a fan system is going to be a headache. I mean, this is my 2011 board. That's where I get which one to pop up. 2011 server board. Oh, holy the 2011 server board. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. I know I'm supposed to be talking about paint, but my mind's in two different directions. I'm in paint and computers at the same time. This is how my brain is transferring back and forth. Like, and since I've basically been doing this, man, it's the same thing. It's going back to it all over again. I literally got headaches over this because I've been thinking about it way too much. The paint we're working on, and then right here, and now the one down below, and I'll put this little tiny screen in. Oh, it's gonna be sick. Oh, wait. Before we get on here, can I get one of these would look like? I need a steampunk PC open rack system. But I want my open rack. Oh, look like somebody did one on the wall. That is freaking. Oh, somebody did do one of these. Oh, yes. He is worthy. He is worthy. Look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, man. Whoever did this, man. Hats off to you. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. We're going to do ours. We're definitely doing one for ourselves. I definitely want to. I want an open rack steam pump now. That's what I want. An open rack steam pump, which means I got to buy some old radios, take them apart. We need gauges and all that stuff. Ooh, that'd be interesting. The keyboard. Yeah, he's got the typewriter keyboard. What the freak? He's got the typewriter keyboard. What the freak? Hold on for a minute. He paid $200 for that keyboard? We got to get one of these. That's an expensive keyboard. He's got a typewriter keyboard. Gotta have one of these. You got to. Vintage typewriter keyboard. No. Keyboard. Vintage typewriter keyboard. Wait, they got it for cheaper? Oh, these are much cheaper than the other one. Which one has the bronze one? This is more newer. I don't want the newer one. I want the old one. Where's the old one at? They had a nice one on here too. This one's 85. I'm gonna go look this up because I know they got it in there. I need an old typewriter keyboard and an old vintage mouse. All those in there. Look at that. Oh, the tapping sound. It's got to be freaking beautiful. Tap. I'm not too fan about the mouse and all. I would like to get a wooden mouse. They do have wooden keyboards, though. I've seen those. They're not cheap. They're very... That's pretty cool. But I want to know where he got his from. Where did he get his from? And the wireless. I do like that, but it's not old enough. It doesn't look old enough. It has to be a little older than that. Give it a little old look to it. I like the way it's a custom paint job. He had to do a custom paint job on that. He had to do a custom paint job on that one. Well, these are $85. I thought these things come down. I thought these were like a $300 keyboard. So that's what I saw, like 300 keyboards. What's that? The wooden keyboards I was looking at. See if I can find it on Google. Vintage typewriter keyboard. So how did that one? Definitely has some mod job. Very nice though. If he's selling on Etsy, I'll definitely buy it from you. Because that looks pretty nice. I like that. That's a good job. Let me see. Wooden mouse for PC. Wooden mouse for PC. Yeah, you can buy just about anything you can think of. There's the wooden keyboard. You get a keyboard on there. You need a mouse made out of wood. Yeah, look at that. And it's wireless. That'd be sick. That would be sick for the steampunk. Of course, we got to artwork it up a little bit. Definitely got to artwork it up a little bit. I'm coming down to what I want to design the thing for, how I want to design it. This is the desk underneath me. The other one, the piece underneath me, the 7010, is going to be upgraded to this with a little screen in front of it. But the Warhammer is a little different. It's a little different design, and the PS5 is a different design. All right, I like that. That's pretty cool. That's a nice design right there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with that. That's a pretty nice design. I like that. Because then we can do a nice piping system, nice copper piping system. That'll make a nice frame around my screen. Hook that in real nicely. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I gotta go park and stare at a wall or something. Go outside for a bit. My head's basically clogging up. I had too much information pushing through my head right now. So, yeah, I gotta go. Y'all, God bless. Yeah, just too much.